Right-wing hate is growing everywhere, including Canada, and it's being met by a movement desperate to stamp it out. Calgary's Pride Parade went off without a hitch. Extreme right groups they'd expected to show up didn't.
Leaflet? You're very welcome. Leaflet? If you can out-organize against, some of these fascist groups, these Islamophobic, these hatred groups, they're fueled by ignorance and they actually tend to turn on each other sooner or later.
They call themselves anti-fascists, ANTIFA for short. And tonight we are going to take you into their world. What they do and why, how they do it, and how they defend tactics that sometimes don't seem so different from those they are fighting against.
You are notoriously media shy, and yet you have decided to do this interview with us today. Why did you decide?
Joseph, an Antifa leader in Montreal, insisted on anonymity.
We saw this as an opportunity to put the message across to a wider audience.
In real life, he has a job and a family that he feels would be endangered if his identity was revealed. So it's ironic that what he does is try to reveal the identity of others, extreme right sympathizers he finds through long hours monitoring hate-filled websites and chat rooms.
We're going to publish an article exposing not only him, but also this woman, Roxanne, who is a nurse in the public system. And we know that she works in a hospital.
Have either of these people, do you have any evidence that they've ever been involved in anything violent?
A fascist project, a neo-Nazi project, is by definition a violent program. So we're not waiting for them to break the law.
Do you appreciate there's a certain amount of irony here? I mean, you're sitting here, you will not be identified, you're fearful for being identified, and yet you're talking about identifying
I'm not
other
fearful.
people.
I'm being strategic.
But now you're talking about identifying other people and perhaps putting them in some kind of...
The difference is that I don't have a hateful project.
Chris in Alberta is also an activist who also spends a lot of time online. For more than a decade, he's been compiling a record of extreme right hate. His blog, Anti-Racist Canada, is a go-to, even for police and academics.
You've created a persona, and now you're going in to visit the sites of these particular groups.
That's right. That's right.
What he does is infiltrate what are often secret groups, posing as a sympathizer to gain access. After confirming their employment, the article documenting everything the anti-fascists claim to know about the two goes up on their website.
They're fueled by ignorance and they actually tend to turn on each other sooner or later. I'd sleep with an axe beside the bed. Bonnie had a crowbar under her pillow. After a while, you realize that if you're going to continue to do this, you might die. So you come to an acceptance of that. Just you come to understand it and you can't quit.
Why not? Why can't you quit?
Somebody has to do it.
When we're actually on the street, the goal is to make sure that they're not able to march, or that they're basically confined to one space surrounded by us, and that they don't get any visibility whatsoever.
So you're trying to take their voice away?
It's a non-platforming tactics, yeah. A lot of people say that we're against free speech, which I can understand how you'd make that argument.
You would use violence?
If that's what it took, yes.
And by violence, what do you mean?
I would. Physically blocking someone, if that's what it took, sure. If it took punching someone in the face or throwing a milkshake on them, sure.
What gives you the right to do that?